Welcome to the deep dive. Today, our mission is, well, it's kind of fascinating. We're exploring how spirituality, of all things, is becoming this quantifiable force, really impacting professional performance and even brand loyalty.
It really is a profound shift, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing this concept move out of, let's say, purely philosophical or religious discussions
Right.
and landing smack bang in the middle of the boardroom, even showing up with a balance sheet. I mean, our sources point to figures like the Dalai Lama arguing humanity's core issue is a spiritual deficiency.
A deficiency.
Yeah, and that tackling it needs nothing short of a spiritual revolution. That's the frame.
That's a huge statement. I mean, for ages, spirituality felt so abstract, almost separate from, the practical stuff of getting ahead or running a business. How did it suddenly become this critical, measurable factor?
I think it's because leaders and the market itself finally had to acknowledge something. Modern life, all the mental pressure, the constant flood of information, it creates this deep vacuum inside people.
A vacuum.
Yeah. Human beings, fundamentally, we feel incomplete without some sense of purpose, some connection. And that emptiness, it's showing up as a crisis across pretty much every sector you look at.
Okay, so let's try and pin down what we mean by spirituality now in this context. If you trace the word back, it always seems to point to some kind of inner power, right? Like the Latin spiritus for breath.
Exactly, the breath of life. And then you've got the Greek root for enthusiasm, enthusiasmos, which literally means the God within. That inner spark.
The God within. So it's not necessarily tied to one tradition.
Not exclusively, no. That idea of inner power, it resonates across different philosophies. Even in, say, Buddhist thought, you find this concept of a non-material level, something above the world, that core spiritual dimension that kind of underlies everything else.
So if we pull those threads together for today, spirituality isn't about following a specific doctrine. It's more like a personal journey.
Precisely. It's this journey of looking within to figure out who you really are, finding that inherent value and purpose, and also recognizing you're connected, to humanity, or maybe something even bigger than yourself.
It's that search for meaning we keep talking about.
It is the drive for meaning. And as life got more stressful, more complex, that search became, more urgent. And that changed what people started demanding from the companies and brands they engage with.
Okay. So that internal human need starts pushing outwards, affecting commerce. That's where someone like Philip Kotler comes in with his Model 3I, integrity, identity, image.
Exactly. Kotler saw that the old marketing models just weren't cutting it anymore. They couldn't explain why people were suddenly choosing brands based on, deeper values rather than just function or a slick ad.
So it's not just, does this product work or does it look good anymore?
Not at the deepest level, no. Consumers are asking, does this brand align with my values, with my sense of what's right, what matters? That final yes to buying something. It's often not purely logical. It's driven by what our sources call self-motivated thought, intuition, really.
Coming from the heart, or that inner conviction you mentioned.
Right. And if a brand genuinely lives values like honesty and purpose, people feel it. They recognize it almost intuitively, and that's what builds real loyalty.
So organizations now have to earn that deeper alignment, not just grab attention. And this focus on wholeness, it's also shaking up how we think about health, isn't it? Moving beyond just not being sick.
Oh, absolutely. The old definition was so limiting. The new understanding is truly holistic. Health is seen as achieving this perfect balance across 4 key areas: the physical body, the mind, our social connections, and crucially, that intellectual or spiritual dimension.
So you could have, say, a physical ailment, but still be considered healthy overall if the other parts are in balance?
That's the idea. If you're managing a chronic illness, but you maintain mental clarity and spiritual well-being, your overall health state can actually be quite high.
Interesting. And the practices that help achieve this, things like Tai Chi, yoga, mindfulness, even chanting, they're now being called applied medicine.
Yes, and that term is key. It signals these aren't just, nice to haves. They're seen as practical tools, tangible methods to restore that spiritual dimension. And that dimension is viewed as essential, almost like an antidote to some of the big societal problems: addiction, excessive consumption, even violence.
So the revolution is happening personally in our wellness and externally in the marketplace.
Both are deeply connected.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. If consumers and employees are searching for meaning, then leadership has to evolve too. Which brings us to spiritual leadership, or SL. How is this different from, say, just being a transactional leader, rewards and punishments, or even just a really charismatic one?
Well, spiritual leadership is very much a 21st century idea, focusing squarely on driving internal change. It goes beyond simple transactions or just relying on the leader's personality, their charisma.
How so?
SL works by appealing directly to those fundamental spiritual needs we talked about, the need for meaning, for purpose, for a sense of belonging. It's proving incredibly effective, especially in high-pressure fields like education and healthcare, where human connection is paramount.
Right, where burnout is a huge issue. Now, the research here is really compelling. I understand researchers looked at, almost 40 different possible components of SL?
That's right, a whole range of potential factors.
But they found only 4 consistently stood out as the most crucial drivers for organizational development. What are those core 4 pillars?
It's quite revealing, isn't it? That out of so many possibilities, it really boils down to these 4. They seem to form the bedrock of motivation and need to be consistently present and acted upon by leaders.
Okay, let's hear them.
First is vision. This means providing a really clear, shared picture of where the organization is heading. Our sources suggest this one often has the biggest immediate impact. It's more than just a mission statement on the wall. It's a future people can genuinely believe in and feel part of.
Okay, vision, number 1. What's next?
Number 2 is hope. This is about the leader's ability to create confidence, to inspire people in their work, especially when things get tough, during crises or periods of uncertainty.
That sounds challenging.
It is.
Yeah.
And interestingly, the data often shows leaders score relatively lower on hope compared to the other pillars. It suggests that maintaining that optimism and navigating conflict effectively is perhaps the hardest part of SL.
Good point. Okay, vision, hope. What's the third?
Third is faith. And this isn't about blind belief. It's about conviction that's rooted in wisdom, in reason, and critically, in disciplined action. It means the leader has to be committed to learning, constantly improving, and being a consistent role model. This kind of faith is what fuels persistence, that endurance you need to see things through.
Right, walking and talk. Faith based on action. And the fourth pillar?
The fourth is trust. This comes down to absolute consistency between words and actions. It means operating with sincerity, with openness, and actively building transparent, genuine relationships within the team. No hidden agendas.
Vision, hope, faith, trust. The core 4. And I gather there's often one more element mentioned alongside these.
Yes, very frequently. The sources often highlight altruistic love. It's seen as almost complementary, essential perhaps, defined by things like kindness, forgiveness, humility, genuine selflessness. It acts like the emotional lubricant, maybe. It helps a vision, hope, faith, and trust really connect with people.
It's a glue that holds it together. Okay.
Now, this all sounds quite noble, but it inevitably brings up the big question for anyone focused on results. How do these, let's be honest, somewhat abstract spiritual components actually translate into concrete, measurable success for an organization? We need the so what.
Exactly. Where's the payoff? The research seems to provide a pretty clear answer, linking SL directly to, 3 main organizational outcomes? Starting with productivity.
Yes, productivity is a key one. And the research suggests the single biggest driver of productivity under an SL model is an employee's sense of meaning in life applied to their work context.
Meaning in life. How does that translate organizationally?
In this context, it means employees having clear goals, understanding why their work matters, and importantly, feeling that their own existence and contribution are valued by the organization.
So feeling seen, essentially.
Precisely. And productivity is also boosted significantly by a supportive work environment. One where people feel safe to share ideas, to challenge things, to solve problems together. And of course, a positive organizational culture built around these principles of spirituality, integrity, and teamwork.
Okay, so meaning drives productivity. What's the second major outcome?
Job satisfaction. The correlation here is typically very strong. Studies often show SL lifting satisfaction scores into the highest possible range on measurement scales.
Wow, highest. And what specifically drives that satisfaction? Is it just feeling good about the mission?
That's part of it, but the data points to very practical things too. Key indicators include having good supportive supervision managers who embody these SL principles, also positive coworker relations, and a general sense of organizational happiness.
Happiness, how do they measure that?
It usually involves things like employees feeling proud to work there, showing kindness to each other, and feeling a sense of unity and shared purpose.
Okay, so productivity, job satisfaction, and the third outcome linked to SL.
Organizational commitment. This is about the deep attachment employees feel towards the organization. It's strongly linked to both SL itself and, not surprisingly, to the job satisfaction it generates.
And commitment isn't just one thing, is it? The sources break it down.
That's right. They typically look at 3 dimensions.
Mhm.
First, normative commitment. This is the feeling that you ought to stay, maybe out of loyalty or as a sense of duty.
Second, continuance commitment. This is more calculated, the feeling that you need to stay because the costs of leaving, lost benefits, seniority, etc., are too high.
The practical reasons.
Exactly. And third, and often considered the most powerful, is effective commitment. This is the feeling that you genuinely want to stay because you feel an emotional connection, a real sense of belonging.
You like being there.
You like being there, you believe in what you're doing together. And when leaders effectively use the 4 pillars of SL to foster purpose and belonging, employees tend to score high on all 3 types of commitment.
Which means they're less likely to jump ship for a small raise elsewhere.
Much less likely. They're invested emotionally and ethically, not just financially. And they're more likely to give their best effort consistently.
This is powerful stuff. It's one thing to discuss leadership theories and organizational stats, but let's bring it right down to the individual level. What does this mean for you listening right now? Whether you're leading a team, part of one, or just trying to manage the pressures of modern life.
Yeah, how do we make this practical? Well, it seems we can actually take these core SL pillars, vision, hope, faith, trust, and distill them into actionable things we can do every day.
Absolutely. It kind of demystifies the spiritual revolution and turns it into concrete steps.
Let's call them the 4 daily practices. So practice number 1, based on vision meaning. Maybe it's about clearly defining your purpose for the day or even just for the next task. Connecting the small things you do to a bigger picture, some larger value. That's how you actively create meaning day to day.
Right, finding the why and the what.
Practice number 2 for hope. This could be about consciously focusing your energy on finding solutions when problems arise instead of just getting stuck on the difficulty. Maintaining confidence, especially under stress, and actively looking for ways to reduce conflict or tension around you.
Proactively building optimism and constructive responses. Makes sense.
Practice number 3, linking to faith integrity. This sounds like cultivating wisdom from what you actually do and experience, not just theory. Being a sincere and consistent role model, even in small ways. Using that inner conviction faith to drive perseverance and always aim for truthfulness.
Living your values consistently.
And practice number 4, reflecting trust love. This seems to be about practicing consistency and openness in how you communicate. And maybe, crucially, making an active effort to acknowledge the value and the needs of the people you interact with. That taps into that altruistic love idea.
Showing genuine care and respect. These are all things anyone can try to practice, regardless of their role.
Exactly. What seems clear from everything we've discussed is that this search for the spiritual, this innate human drive for completeness, for purpose, something thinkers like Maslow and Frankl identified decades ago, it's no longer separate from real life. It's become tangled right up with practical effectiveness.
It seems integrating these principles doesn't just make us feel better, it actually helps us perform better, improves our well-being, and can even make our workplaces healthier environments.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. If the ancient root of spirituality is this quest for the God within, for that inner spark, and if modern organizations, modern life really, only seems to thrive when that deeper quest for meaning is addressed, then could it be that the future of success isn't really about external metrics at all?
But rather tied to the depth and authenticity of our inner lives.
It's a provocative question. How might your own daily environment at work, at home, change if you made a conscious effort to manifest just one of these 4 pillars starting today? Something to reflect on.